Welcome back to the OPL. My name is Michael Hing, and I'm joined here at the analyst desk by Raz and Ejim. Guys, we just have seen this series tied up 1-1 now, and we kind of all thought that that AV were going to take this, but TMWIN fighting back. They kind of the first game very close. Second game they took it. This means they are playing better. Maybe they're now the favourites to win this third game, and if they do, what kind of stead does that put them in to make the finals, Raz?
Well, my word means nothing because I've already just gotten destroyed. Like 2-0 Avant, nothing. But look at the next week. This is pretty important because we've been hyping up Abyss to be the team that could squeak into the 4th place position, but actually TMWIN has a pretty good chance. If they do end up winning this set against Avant, they end up actually going up against Sin Gaming, where they're likely favorites, and Chiefs go up against Avant, where Chiefs should win out. If this actually ends up happening, if this goes to plan, TMWIN went into the finals. I will mean
semis.
4th place.
Semis.
Yeah.
Don't put them in the finals.
Gotta stop myself right there.
Does this come back to what you were saying earlier tonight that that Abyss kind of got lucky playing against you guys? Not lucky, but you guys were in a slump when they played you, type thing.
Well. Obviously, I think that was true because, I said it, right? But
and also, it's your team,
Yeah, of course. The only time we lose, we're just unlucky.
Of course.
No, so I think
it's RNG whenever you lose.
Yeah. It's not our fault. I think it's kind of weird that Abyss aren't actually the favorites to get in there. It actually it kind of baffles my mind. We only just figured out that this could happen to TMWIN, and that's very surprising to me because I looked at the ladder and they were all the way down here, and I'm just oh Jesus, okay.
Yeah. Well, so if you're TMWIN now, what are you thinking going into this final game? You're do they realize this going in? They probably do.
Oh, right? Definitely. When you get that boot camp,
they wouldn't be boot camping if they didn't think they had a chance.
Exactly.
Right? So it's and I also think going into the third game, they should feel confident. Even though they lost the first game, they were in control. It was
very close.
Yeah, they were in control for the majority of the game until they kind of threw at the end or whatever. And the second game, they won that one, so they've been in winning positions in both these two games. So going to the third one, they should feel I think they should feel like they have the upper hand.
Exactly. And the only reason why they kind of lost at the first game, well, one of the major reasons is that if you pick the Leona right, and if you don't snowball properly with it, then it's difficult much later on in the game to kind of get that going and snowballing, right? Now, obviously, it's a snowball. If you don't play to it, then that's a negative. But I think if they continue on in this path, make little fixes to how they play out with their leads that they actually do end up getting in the beginning of the games, then it looks good for them.
I think one thing I want to note is we were watching the game, and I think Omni's Cass, I don't want to call him out, but he missed many of his ults last game. I feel like give him something. I don't know. I guess they've been banning the Azir, which he's been play. I don't know. I think move away from the Casio, pick something more reliable.
So let's go do final predictions for this last game then. What do you guys reckon? Is TMWIN going to take this, or?
I feel like Paradise has underperformed for me this set, but I'm just going to stick to my guns and say I think AV will win 2-1. I think they're going to come back.
That's when you finally get a prediction wrong. I'm going to flip-flop since my first one already failed. I've already
lost.
You've
already lost, and now you're going to try to win again.
Now I'm just going to go for TMWIN. So,
all right. So
let's make this interesting.
Your credibility is kind of on the line. Your credibility is shot, but we'll go back anyway. All right. Well, let us. That is enough from us. Now let us throw away to the casters to take us through Game 3 of this series. Take it away, Rusty and Atlas.
Thank you very much, Hingers. That was fantastic. I asked him for a creative throw, and it was beautiful. Fantastic to have him. And Rusty, look, moving into game number 3, TMWIN now, judging by the desk reaction, looking to be the favorites. How are you feeling? You thinking AV can probably turn this one around?
This could probably go either way, Atlas. I
have a feeling you're right, because this series has been strange.
Yeah, and I think it actually starts once again with the drafting phase. So luckily for everybody, that's where we start every single game of League of Legends.
It does indeed start with the drafting phase, because here we are into champions like this guy, Rusty the Prophet. Doesn't matter what's happening, he's always the Prophet. As now the bans are going to come through, and AV just want to get rid of that Trundle. Afraid it's not going to be on it this time, and they will have the sort of priority banning situation here as well, as TMWIN will have to get rid of things like the Blood.
So the reason I think it's the most important part is the Jhin. Actually, as a big point of priority.
Yeah, that's true.
I think after games 1 and 2, it should be definitely noticeable for both of these teams that the Jhin was the biggest deal. With all the bans that can now come out of AV being on the blue side, means pretty much targeted. And they should ideally lock that down. there's been a lot of interesting priority in terms of drafting.
Yeah.
I don't think Shelby has to go for the Rek'Sai. They should actually just lock it down.
Well, that's exactly what the final ban is here from Avant. Whether they want to mix it up, maybe ban away the Jhin. They'll do that if they want to. 13 seconds to go. Because, of course, Jenny Boy has been successful on the Ashe, and I actually felt like Ashe probably could have even been a better pick than the Sivir in the last game, with that extra engage potential that they'd have.
I agree.
Well, Bard, of course, has to be banned, so Rosie's not going to be able to play that champion. Vladimir, of course, the next one to go. So AV, same bans. TMWIN, same bans. Game number 1. What does Paradise take away here?
I'm defaulting to saying Jhin still. I don't think there's any need to go for the early Victor or anything like that. You would expect that Tainted Minds will go for a Cassiopeia in their first rotation with, whatever they choose as a top lane tool. But once again, being on the blue side means that there's no Trundle for Praetor. There it is.
Yeah, well, if history's taught us anything, next round should probably be Aurelia Cassiopeia.
I just don't think it should be Aurelia.
No, I don't think it should be Aurelia Cassiopeia, to be honest. I feel like they can probably lock away things like the Braum. Oh, but it's Rosie. Yeah. Good point. Braum. You do, you Tainted Minds.
They might even look towards AD carries if they don't want to reveal their hand, but ideally they just go for their jungle and top lane.
Jungle and support, something like that.
Yeah.
Keep it a little bit casual. Karma is still available.
That's true, actually.
It was first picked by AV in game number 1. There's the Aurelia.
Oh, God.
There's the Cassiopeia. If it ain't broke, I'll wait. Hang on.
If it's broken once, repair it and try again. That's how that saying goes, right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
No, they're channeling,
how to move over.
channeling Chumbawamba.
Oh, well, Rek'Sai Karma would make sense if they were to lock this one away.
Yeah. Karma Rek'Sai makes perfect sense. They want to round out the 3-man roster. They could just go a Victor again, depending on what they want to do with the support. If it's still a high priority, Braum still stands out as a good option for them. It isn't necessarily a must-have in the way of Karma. Just a nice-to-have in comparison. So knowing what the solo lanes are means that AV can pretty much do as they please.
Shelby actually going to opt into the Gragas here this time. Making sure that Tainted Minds can't just get the same comp again. And Zahi did actually have some good early game pressure to put Tainted Minds ahead. Triple looking at the Karma and he's going to lock that one away. So basically what we're talking about is Shelby. He's going to lock that one up.
Yeah, so the one big change once again, the Gragas that you mentioned. A lot more early ganking pressure, I would say, even in comparison to the Rek'Sai is there for Gragas. The flash body slam has no real counterplay besides a presumptive flash of your own.
Yep.
So they pick up the option there to threaten middle lane, I would say, Shelby. That or top.
Lost actually looking to try and go for that Ashe into the Jhin matchup. Try and equal out that potential pick and engage you do have.
It's actually not that bad of a choice when you think about it in 2v2 combat. You can just arrow the Jhin if he ults.
Yeah, true.
If it does ever get to that point.
Banning away the 2 counter Jhin options in the Trundle and Bard is good here for Avant, wanting to go into this pick, as Zahi looking to go back to the Elise.
For what it's worth, I'm a little bit surprised we haven't been seeing too much Morgana in the support position, given what everyone has been playing lately.
It's also Rosie, who is a bit of a fan. Anyone that is part mage, part support, fits into his wheelhouse very effectively. Even if you're not part support, still fits into his wheelhouse.
Yeah. For a wheelhouse, it's a pretty odd shape.
It most certainly is. There are Ziggs and Aurelias, all sorts of weird things in there.
We're just waiting for this to be locked in. The question is it Fiora again with it, or do they still commit to something like that? Nah. Playoff feel, Paradise didn't have a bad game at all. He actually played quite well once they hit the team fights.
Yeah.
Just didn't really have the team to back him up. And that's why I quite like the Cassiopeia. He may not have hit a lot of ultimates, but what he did do was zone them with the W.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the determining factor after the Jhin.
Well, now going to make sure that he can lock people down if they ever get hit by an enchanted crystal arrow, which would definitely be a good idea as well. Miasma going to be relatively important there. Now Rosie looking at a Malzahar support. And look, I doubt it, but it's Rosie. Could be anything.
Yeah, definitely could be.
These comps are looking very similar though. A bit of an amalgamation of Tainted Minds prior combi game number 2 with that of their game 1 comp.
I'm not going to lie. I think it should be Braum. I'm standing by that. They don't need Leona. They have an Ashe. They actually have the engage tool there. Have an Elise for the same thing. Braum aids with pit compositions. Unless they want to really commit to something defensive again like the Janna.
And there's also the fact that Winter's Bite plus concussive blows with Frost Shot is just dumb as far as being able to guarantee a lockdown. I think you're exactly right with Braum being a good choice, but Rosie going to move to the Thresh. Wants to have a little bit more fun by the looks of things.
And Thresh is still good. It actually complements a pit composition a little bit better than that of the Braum, who has more disengage.
Yeah.
You've still got a Lantern to save people. You've still got the box as well for a massive slow afterwards. But you've got the hook. You've got another threat. And so now they can run a multi-faceted threat composition, primarily in the way of pick. The one big concern still remains if we throw our minds back to game number 1, Paradise against Praedyth. In a standard laning phase, Paradise came up huge.
We did, but are we going to get a standard laning phase is the question. Will the lane swap now ensue? Because we saw Tainted Minds struggle a little bit, but then get it all back together when it came to that lane swap scenario in game 2.
Yeah, a little bit more effort actually has to be placed this time by AV. They want standard lanes in the way of deep vision or something as a 5-man unit.
Yeah.
Not an easy task though when you look at who they're against, even if it comes to invading. You try and invade an Elise, Thresh, Ashe, even Cassiopeia to an extent, they can do a lot of damage.
I feel like this game is going to come down to Rosie's positioning a lot of the time as well, because AV, when they do play with this Jhin, rely on that Deadly Flourish, they rely on that Curtain Call, and getting people out of the way of those abilities, utilizing the Dark Passage is going to be so important for Rosie and for Tainted Minds just in general.
Absolutely. We've seen really effective use of the Thresh Lanterns taken by Egypt in the Chiefs game, so Rosie has to step up here again.
We'll see whether he can do that. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to hear from you. If you think that AV can turn this one around, grab the momentum back, use that hashtag AVWIN on Twitter. Or if you think that Tainted Minds can actually use that Game 2 victory to carry them through, use that hashtag TMWIN. Let us know whether you thought that that boot camp actually came in effect. I can't speak English either, Rusty. I mean, this is a complete disaster. But we're ready to get into game number 3 because this is going to be exciting. And once again, no idea what to expect because this series has been strange.
Yeah, well, track record says that the Jhin on the team means the Jhin team wins.
Yeah.
But Tainted Minds have the momentum. And they've now got the Ashe to deal with it. They've got the pit composition to deal with it as well.
And the Darkstar Thresh for the really sweet skin. So that is definitely going to help, I am sure.
Oh yeah, they've got it now in the bag.
Oh yeah, on lockdown.
Very cool skin though.
But I actually do really like it because Tainted Minds sort of understood the fact that the Jhin was probably going to be first picked, and now they've made adjustments in order to try and at least alleviate that.
Yeah, no, they've definitely made adjustments in the way of having, honestly, in my opinion, just a better team composition from the side of Tainted Minds. AV, though, they have a lot of split-pushing threat with that Fiora into Praedyth based off game 1. We already said this. Chelby's still got a lot of early gank pressure to match Zahi on the Elise anyway. Triple's got the wave clear. He seems to be pretty content with that matchup, as it were, having the cleanse every time anyway.
Yep.
And Chenny and Jakey have got a lot of pick, they've got a lot of facilitation, and they have a lot of damage in 2v2 laning if they choose to stick it out standard, something that you would expect AV want to have. The real question mark past that point is, how do they engage? And that's where Chenny Boy comes into play.
Well, we'll see whether he can actually get things working here. Whether he does fall behind. Lost put him in a hole in game number 1. Chenny was helped out in game number 2, but didn't really do too much with it. Moving into the late game. As now it is going to be a lane swap, so Tainted Minds move up. That was odd. Just walks into Omni.
He is losing that trade severely.
Yeah, being taken down extraordinarily low. The potions are going to tick back up, but just an odd maneuver. Body Slam comes in from Chelby. Rosie just being frustrating. As Jake and Kenny Boy looking to send away Praedyth. Nice chain. CC gets the flash out of the Aurelia.
Overstays his welcome there, Praedyth. Chenny, of course, having the W and being Jhin. It can lock you down. I am already 2 minutes into this game, just genuinely a bit perplexed.
Yeah, I was going to say perplexed seems to be the theme.
I am bamboozled.
Miffed?
Oh,
Rattled?
Miffed is, I'm not far away from Miffed.
Yep. Rustling your jimmies? Something like that? No, not quite. Okay. No, I took it too far. Triple. Standing behind his minion wave now. Probably a good start against Cassiopeia.
But he's already lost his lane. Unless he wins some easy trades, but he'll be losing minions by doing that.
Now Lost and Rosie setting themselves up here. Praedyth turns up in the nick of time. Also do have Paradise towards the bottom side. Datamin's getting to work here.
Now I actually would expect Shelby to now work his way mid. There are still 2 summoner spells there. I'd like to see it happen. Omni's starting to grow himself a decent lead. That's something we don't want to happen in the control mage battle. Whereas the rest of the map's pretty stock standard.
And you can see it's only getting worse and worse here for Triple in the mid lane as Omni 24 to 18. That wave is now going to reset. Now backs are going to ensue. Paradise will be able to deal with this. Just waiting for this turret to deal with the rest of this minion wave. He's able to do so quite nicely. Turret falls exactly the same time. Couldn't have done it more evenly. I'd have asked them to.
Synchronized turret taking. It's always that first one that seems pretty easy. It's the second where teams make different decisions, and as you are currently seeing, AV are making a different decision. They don't want to continue the lane swap.
No. Once again, that is going to be the agreement. Triple now hasn't been back to base. Still 10 CS behind here on Omni. You can see there's a Karma moving into this lane. Really doesn't want to get there from that side. As you can see, Chelby pinging out exactly where Zahi is. It was hanging around towards that side of the map for quite some time.
Also can't really afford to be mid as that Karma at the moment, given that they are trying to standard lane. They don't have the opportunity to roam as effectively as you would like. Zahi now. Paradise well out of position.
Yeah, the lunge comes in. Nice Blade Surge in response there as Zahi does make his way through. Flash is going to avoid the Cocoon, but needless use of that Summoner spell. Shelby knows that the Aurelia does not have it. Nice barrel, just bops Zahi on his way through, but not going to be able to do too much more. And you can see Praedyth very comfortable right here.
Yeah, and it's going to push back towards Praedyth. This is really poor minion management or proactivity from Shelby. It could go either way. The Gragas has to be around. He actually just flashed on the top side of the map. Who knows what's going on there?
Yeah, look at Zahi. He does actually use his flash in order to try and get away, as we will probably have a look at the top side relatively soon. Zahi is able to get himself to safety, looking for a back here as well. So we'll see whether AV are able to capitalize. I like casting from the mini-map. This is cool.
It's actually really challenging.
Block hook lands onto Chenny Boy. Jake now trying to keep him alive as there's the Deadly Flourish. Doesn't find the damage, but there's the tether onto Lost as well. Volley comes through, lots of damage. You can see the Exhaust helping out at the same time. Dark Passage trying to get Lost into position as Chenny throws down the heal. The teleport's coming in, doubles actually coming up. As you can see, Paradise launches his way through. Chenny right into a hook as Paradise wants to try and grab it. First blood does go down as the heal. Oh my god, the shield, sorry, is Lost is able to pick that one up in the end. Omni is the one able to turn up in the nick of time. Mantrid, not going to happen, and Praedyth is going to pick up the kill onto Paradise. Tainted Minds get the better end of that stick.
They definitely do, and there's a convenient Drake ready for them. Omni, true to form,
dragon?
Does not hit his ultimate, but it just seems to be the Cassiopeia way. Nonetheless,
he nailed the miasma though.
Yeah, he did. Nonetheless, they get what they came for. Lost actually hides within the smallest crevice of the Mantrid Karma Q to not die to it. He comes out happy for it, as you might want to tank it, Zahi. Not Praedyth.
Got some Spiderlings up in order to do so. So first Infernal Break is going to fall down here. Next one going to be a Mountain. Oh, it's a bevy of wanted dragons this game.
And perhaps that mid-game snowball is going to be a little bit more prevalent. Paradise being down there gets himself a kill, which is nice, but so does Praedyth.
And does the extra 100 gold from having it be First Blood give him enough to negate the 5 CS lead that Praedyth had? Probably approximately, right?
There's no real, again, there's no real difference between them. What we look at is Trinity Force Spike against Black Cleaver Spike.
Yep.
This is where Paradise won the lane last time. Needs to get to that point successfully.
Well, actually makes it here towards the top side a little bit quicker. Praedyth now going to turn up. This Blade Surge going to be used. You can see Praedyth actually able to throw down the Equilibrium Strike. Denying a lot of what Paradise wants to do. And with the Sheen picked up, dangerous times, as still has the level advantage.
Yeah, he's respecting the damage from Praedyth quite nicely now, Paradise. He does need to. Of course, no flash to having a flash. Small detail. Could add up in the end, dependent on jungle pressure, which is where Zahi's now directing his attention towards before he walks over a ward and doesn't gank it.
Well, Captive Audience still chilling out here. Towards the bottom side, Chelby setting himself up. Will find this pink ward, potentially. Actually not, just going to not walk in that brush.
Elise is already going in here now. Level 6, moves pretty fast. Those Lucidity boots has Paradise.
There's the Cocoon, really nice use of the riposte in order to try and get himself out of there. Lunge comes through, Paradise able to create some distance. Will survive, even without the flash.
Yep, Zahi throws the Cocoon on top of a pink ward, so it was pretty easy to react from Paradise. Mechanical misplays. Chelby's in a weird spot.
Yeah, Hook isn't going to land. And the barrel, a pretty good disengage. And there's the Curtain Call coming out as well. Omni going to tank up the first bolt. There's the use of the Dark Passage. That's what we were talking about. Rosie able to offer some safety to his team members.
Yeah, it gives them a way out. Triple not really having an impact on the map at the moment. That's twice we've seen Omni rotate. Praedyth is really giving it to him now.
Yeah, going for it, even underneath this turret.
Has his ulti too. He could work on this next minion wave if he really wanted to. Paradise flirting with death.
Yes, very scary. Didn't even get the cannon creep. Zahi going to wander over a pink ward.
He still hasn't touched. So he walked on a pink ward, threw the Cocoon out on top of the pink ward. Still hasn't killed said pink ward. He's now walked past one in the blue buff. Check your brushes.
Yeah.
Public service announcement.
He's walked past 3 pink wards now.
You will find that on average, wards are placed brushes more than anything else.
Also, certain brushes are more popular than others. Particularly around buffs. And the little brush towards the Baron pit, which he did manage to find. That's definitely good. Praedyth now going to go back, see whether he can complete the Stinger, maybe get towards a Phage. The Stinger. So grabs himself a longsword there as well. Lost. Not going to be a captive from that audience, but 70 to 68 as far as that farm. Wants to get himself something like a BF sword. Doesn't. Decides to go for the Berserker's Greaves instead.
Yeah, we're essentially at square one again as Chelby is consistently trying to take a jungle, as you can tell.
With an ultimate.
Yep. It's like we've gone around the full map on Monopoly. We passed Go.
Yep.
We're on the second phase. We're pioneering of land.
Very odd. But he was able to take the Krug camp, albeit with a relatively long cooldown ultimate. Paradise able to shove this wave into Praedyth. Has claimed the CS lead for the moment, but these creeps will be able to turn that one around for our top laner on the side of Tainted Mind.
Yeah, and honestly, in terms of timing, this could get him a lot more efficiently to the Trinity Force spike by forcing Paradise back. Now, we will have a spike of his own and a teleport available for these guys fighting.
Yeah, there's the hook onto Rosie as well as another whiff comes in from the ultimate out of Omni, but the arrow lands onto Chelby. No one to die just yet as the slow comes in. There's the curtain call of Zahi. Nice dodge out of the way of the first bit as Rosie off to the side. Those Spiderlings got demolished as Rosie is able to flash his way out, but Chelby wants this one. Gets the barrel for the slow. Drinks himself some cola, but it's not going to be enough. Nice exhaust comes out from Rosie as he's looking for another hook. Lost with some damage. Gets it with the last auto attack, and Chelby's going to fall down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the reason you don't use your ultimate to hit Krugs right there. I think plain and simple, Chelby's going to be licking his wounds now in the base, contemplating his decision making. Comes back to haunt him.
Series is still really weird, Rusty.
That's a tilter.
Well, Paradise does have his Phage in response to the Sheen Stinger and Longsword here from Praedyth. Now with the minions by his side, feeling a little bit more confident. You can see the health bar looking better for Paradise.
Yeah, he's starting to find his way into this one, of course. More sustain to be seen for Praedyth. We do get to witness this one again.
Yeah.
Note the Gragas ultimate cooldown.
off to the side.
Guess who would have died there? You guessed it. The answer was Rosie.
Ah, that's the
Shelby,
I
yeah.
didn't know. You were taking me on a journey. I just didn't know.
Predath is dead.
All right. Okay, cool. Was it a 1v1? Was it a 2v1?
It appears to be a 1v1. Paradise is huge now. It's a nice hook.
Yeah, hook is going to land the play. Doesn't get him over the wall there. Is Jake able to land a nice double Q? There's a deadly flourish onto Zahi one more time. Captain Audience comes in. There's the ultimate we were talking about. A really good repel. It's going to get Zahi out of trouble, and Omni cleans up the kill. Rosie in here as well. Tainted Mind still looking for more as Paradise has teleport, but does not care. As he wants to take down this outer turret towards the top side of the map. Mountain Drake now falling into the hands of Tainted Minds. And that is 2 big dragons here for this TM squad.
Actually, another fantastic hook from Rosie. He's finding his way into this third game quite emphatically. They've got Lost now 2-0-2. They have got Omni putting in work. He's leaving that middle lane quite often and roaming effectively. And they've also got themselves, unfortunately, a problem point on the opposite side of the map. So this does feel like game 1 a little bit all over again.
Yeah, well, game 1 tells us anything. Honestly, can get to the very end of the game and we still won't necessarily know who is going to win. Base is being teleported on in the 11th hour. Black Cleaver now done though for Paradise. You don't even have a Phage yet built up from Predath after that last back. So dangerous for the Aurelia as Paradise once again has hit that spike that he was looking for. Shelby on towards the top side of the map. As you can see, Chenny Boy without his support has to be very careful as Tainted Mind's pushing out the bottom lane.
Yeah, and still extended standard lanes at the moment is what we are seeing. Lost being past the level 6 point means he should be throwing out a couple of arrows here and there. Zahi collapsed on.
Yeah, looking for it. The repel is there. A nice slowdown comes in from the barrel. Triple comes over the top. They're looking for it. Don't quite find it just yet. Spiderling's there to try and block some skill shots as Shelby says, okay. Jake picks up the kill.
I want to give a special mention to Shelby for not using his ultimate this time. I genuinely believe that he's learned from his mistake, and that was the right decision.
Oh, good.
I'm happy with that.
Thanks, Shelby. One thing I do want to talk about is the fact that this map is lit up with Avant wards right now.
Yeah, they're entirely on that side of the map. The only reason they find Zahi was through all the wards they set up. Karma now on the top side of the map is why this happens. But by Karma being on the top side of the map, Chenny has been left to the Wolves. And they lose turrets now on the bottom side as a response. Really unorthodox style and decision to go top lane in that timing.
Yeah. As you can see, Lost continuing to push here towards the bottom side. Triple's going to make his way down. Says, oh, little Chenny boy, you do not have enough weight there. I will just use this one. As Shelby, once again, behind enemy lines. He's Owen Wilson this game. I swear to God.
Yeah, they don't have wards that deep, so Shelby just kind of pokes his head around. Tries his luck as there's the chin ulti.
Yeah, ult comes out. Lost is going to cop a couple of bolts as avoids the last one. Paradise comes in. There's the arrow. Not able to riposte it in time is Paradise, but the stun is not for too long. And flashes over the wall. Chaos Storm doing a lot of work onto Rosie, who has to flash. Miasma there, so no flash to follow up there from Triple, who didn't actually have it.
Really close though, Rosie. Gets out with, I'm going to say, sub 100 health. Paradise's teleport was used though. So now they're trying to make things happen onto Omni, which is not realistic. They're just pressuring him off.
Yeah, uses the Ghost. No arrow to be too scared of here as AV will be able to get some decent damage onto this turret. Death Ray doing some work here. Double upgrade on that Hex score.
Yeah, and a big Trinity Force spike actually.
I like the Flight Sport.
Yeah, Trinity Fire Sport. Means he might be able to fight Paradise, but from this point, last time we saw them actually duke it out in this matchup, there was never really that situation.
Oh, God. That wasn't even a weak spot. Paradise lunges his way out. But yeah, you're right, and I don't think the Tiamat was even there last time for Paradise when they were taking that fight.
Yeah, I guess the big thing is Predath is meant to have the sustain, but now that it's got working towards his second item a lot more effectively here, Paradise, he will still be able to take him on. Because even past that point, Predath is strong enough, he's got a dueling item that you would expect him to be able to fight. But he can't.
All right, now you can see Paradise not even going to get bullied out of this lane by jungle support.
Not to
Just
mention,
hangs around.
like Praedyth is a Fiora player himself, so he knows everything about the champion.
Yeah.
He should know the intricacies of every matchup. It really is struggling. Paradise is just such a good player.
Such a good Fiora player as well. And I dread to see what is going to happen next time around, as there are quite a few bans you need to throw at AV. And one of them, next patch, is going to be a Fiora.
Going to be up here as well. So 2v2 essentially on the top side of the map, and there is a Karma who has not left in quite a while.
Yeah, Chenny Boy is like...
Hanging out.
Yeah, this is
Ulting
not
the
good.
waves.
Yeah, ulting to try and clear out some minions. Oh, does so pretty well. So hopefully he can get there to Dancing Grenade that cannon creep.
Such is Chenny's life.
To his credit, he's only 10 CS behind.
Yeah. It definitely is a commendable feat.
Yeah.
It's not going to save him, unfortunately, because it gives Lost all of the time in the world to work around rotating with Rosie, whereas Jakey's doing it by himself. So if Chenny can keep it at this deficit, then AV might benefit. But if Tainted Minds can work as a two-man unit with the Thresh Ashe, make picks, and Tainted Minds are the ones who are the benefactors.
The Thrash combo. Not at the moment. You can see some backs coming in now for Tainted Minds, trying to reset themselves. 28 seconds on this next Mountain Drake, which is going to be an important one. Double Mountain means that their ability to take Baron, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting with this team comp.
Yeah, with the Cassiopeia, Ashe to an extent as well.
Yeah.
And the two Mountains, they will demolish neutral objectives.
I feel
Nothing
like
is
Zahi
safe.
and Omni could just both do it. Just chill out there together. So, and it's just really hard. If you can account for 3 people on the map, often you don't expect a Baron to be going down. That's the hook. Not going to find it. Rosie playing with Fog of War here just a little bit. But Vision being gained by AV and sacrificed entirely as that pink ward is killed for free.
Yeah, well, working around having Paradise here is why AV are being so aggressive in their positioning.
So it doesn't look for the flash. This Mountain Drake is going to get started up. You can see Teleport actually coming in from
Yeah, they
Praedyth.
wanna fight this
try
one.
and fight it as the arrow flies through. Jake going to get caught up. As you can see now, Paradise right in the back line, throws down the riposte, but isn't going to make it out. 2 dead already. Chelby gets the dragon, but that's the only good news story. The Chaos Storm doing so much work. Lost has to try and get out of there as Chelby flashes, but the flay's available for Rosie. Triple's being able to pick up 1, but that is a 1 for 3 in
Chelby
favor of
wants it.
Tainted Minds. Well, you've played this battle before, Chelby. Lost gets hit by the Runic Echoes, but oh my goodness, Tainted Minds now looking for this outer turret in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're looking towards it. They get themselves the team fight around it, and Tainted Minds now looking quite strong.
Ultimate flies through. Rosie has to be careful. There's the first kill from Chenny, boys. Yep. Captive Audience almost getting some extra damage as well under this Tainted Minds roster, but they grab themselves the turret, lose the dragon. In the end, 3 for 2.
Yes, AV do well to secure that Mountain Drake and stop Tainted Minds from having 2 of them with an Infernal, which means the damage to those neutral objectives is halted by a small amount. Shelby really not on the right side of the map.
Just lives in the enemy jungle. He does. His blade surges on his face. Helps Zahi take down the kill. His dash cannon built up and ready to engage.
I admire Chelby's decision-making to always go forward, but that was nothing short of foolish, given the state of his health bar and the map after just losing that fight. Praedyth, Zahi, and Omni are doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, this Baron buff, not long for the world, and that is just going to be stolen away here at 21.5 minutes into the game. Tainted Minds. We said that they'd be able to do this. We thought that 2 Mountain Drakes was going to make it disgusting, but they only seem to need 1 to be able to 3-man that Baron with ease.
Yeah, well, this is the beauty, honestly, of Tainted Minds' team composition this time around. They've actually shored up their mid-game that barely existed in game number 1. They had the Jhin in game number 2, and now they've just got the objective control through the Drakes they've secured and the team fighting prowess in the third.
Goal.
Set themselves up nicely here with this Baron buff, with a decent gold lead, with the capabilities of winning a team fight.
You see after this as well, Praedyth, he's 3-1-2. Still behind in farm, but it doesn't really matter, because he's been able to participate in these team fights and get himself back to a point where he's actually comparable with Paradise. Randy wins Omen much earlier this time. And he's actually got a longsword, so wants to go for more offensive statistics, and I like it.
Yeah, this is actually huge that Praedyth is doing well. It does feel like AV, win or lose through their top laner, they're pretty close to Legacy in that respect. And yes, they have other good members to actually pull it through, which is where Triple sometimes goes insane. They have Chenny to carry occasionally and Chelby to work with them all and get things going, but Chenny hasn't really had a big impact. Chelby goes in and invades with no one able to collapse and help him, so he dies. And then Triple's just kind of been diffused in this middle lane. His level 1 set him behind to Omni, who has still been able to retain pressure in this middle lane and just control the wave, which is keeping Triple down. We've actually seen Omni play well in this third game, moving around the map, rotating, helping his team out, and this pick composition is now online.
And Rosie's in his element on the Thresh as well, able to make those plays.
Yeah, Shara's up again.
Yeah, Hawkshot flies through, not going to find too many people. There's the arrow. Triple just didn't know where to go, uses the cleanse. There's the ultimate out of Chenny, but actually cancels it, doesn't want to get hooked.
Has to cancel it. Zahi took a lot of damage. I don't know how aggressively they'll continue to push this one without their Spider, who has to go back to base. This is still working out decently well for them because the cleanse cooldown with no flash available on Victor means they have an opportunity.
That's Flourish. Mantra Q comes out, but Rosie with a very swift Dark Passage. Shelby finds the ultimate onto Omni, delivers him underneath the turret. Nice Petrifying Gaze, gets 3 stunned up, and Omni gets out. Deadly Flourish doesn't find him. Nicely played by the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, has that Ghost. That was sick by Chelby, but it wasn't enough as Paradise.
Yeah, the Cocoon comes through, but doesn't find Paradise.
Wow.
Takes down Rosie. Grand Challenge still available here from Paradise. Nice pick off.
They still want more, it feels like. We said this was great from AV.
And Deadly Flourish one more time. Yeah, exactly right. As Chelby's going to get caught. There's another arrow as Chenny Boy isn't going to be able to move out of it in time. Omni picks up the kill as now AV have regrouped. But without their Jhin, it's going to be very dangerous. He had the curtain call. He was standing so far forward.
Yeah, he was definitely pretty far forward there. Gets picked out through the Ash arrow. Now Tainted Minds. When it comes to sieging this, they don't have minions of the melee variety. They probably can't do it. It's really tough for them with Lost having no health bar.
Might just kill Shelby though, as Cocoon's going to go wide. Paradise finds Lost and launches himself into the backline. He will die as Omni almost falls as well. Does what he wants to though. That's a lot of the poke from the Ash gone. Of course, all of it. He's in the death chamber for 30 seconds. Praedyth now moves towards the bottom side to try and push this one out, but the Baron is gone. They didn't manage to find too much on the side of Tainted Minds.
Yeah.
Only a 5,000 gold lead.
I mean, we're seeing a lot of resilience again from AV. They're never out of a fight. You can't count them out by any means. The pick starts off with Chelby. Paradise also individually makes a play to get another, almost 2. Could have been big. This goes to show what AV can do moving forward and how the tides of this game can turn on a dime.
Just never know what to expect. The decisions out of both of these teams, unorthodox, but seems to be happening on both sides of the rift. You just never really know what to expect. Unpredictable actions out of these guys. 9 seconds on this Mountain Drake.
They're actually still set up a lot better in this game here, Tainted Minds. You compare it to AV. Chenny's still in it. He was even further behind in their first game and definitely had a relevance as these guys are now.
Now Hook going to find it. The arrow's going to find Shelby as well, who flashes out of the way. Body Slam's used as well. The ultimate not quite in time though as Omni picks up the kill after just yelling at him. Bit of a into his face.
Another Mountain.
Yeah, Mountain's going to go down. No smite available for AV. Double Mountain Infernal here for Tainted Minds as it's a bevy of sweet dragons this game. Next one being that Infernal Drake as well. Double Infernal, double Mountain. If Tainted Minds are able to pick up that next one, will put them in a fantastic position moving into the late game, especially considering the fact that they right now are looking very good.
Yeah, Tainted Minds are looking very good with this gold lead. They've secured the way they're playing the map is still a lot better. They're running into the same problems that they always have. The Victor's wave clear is pretty much putting a stop to everything that they want to achieve. The Jhin being able to lock things down at the same time is now doubling up on that respect. And we've got a Fiora who can continue splitting. Slowly but assuredly he's getting stronger and stronger in that 1v1.
Just finished shoving out that top wave as well, so ahead by about 20 CS. Ravenous Hydra done. Now building towards something like a Steric's Gauge by the looks of things. As Jenny takes down the red buff with ease. Loses a bit of health to it, but does have his Dusk Blade of Drakthar.
And the 9% health regeneration the red buff gives per fight.
Yeah.
You would expect, honestly, the immediate Baron Rush from Tainted Minds with their team composition as one of their big
why not?
avenues of at least gold income. Whether they get turrets or not afterwards is another story from what AV have been doing. And it feels like if Tainted Minds want to take a turret, they have to win a 5v5 for it. That's where this game stands at the moment.
So he's back, going to get stopped. Was looking at the shop and discovers that he's no longer backing. Credits down here, pushing out this wave. That top wave actually pushing in for Tainted Minds here as well. So unlike the first game where AV did have a lot of minion wave control, is looking like it's further into Tainted Minds' favor this time.
Praedyth needs Merc Treads.
Arrow. Chenny Boy uses his I'm in a walk casually left in order to get himself out of it. A good ability.
Yeah, dodges the arrow. Lost still has a pretty low cooldown on that one, so he can throw it out as he would please. But again, I think Praedyth actually needs Merc Treads. He has Brown Leather Bag.
Yeah.
Might want to upgrade those. Of course, a lot of natural tenacity to be seen from Aurelia.
Multiplicative scaling though, Rusty.
Exactly.
Goal flies through, he's looking for Lost. Cancels it, wants to retain some of that cooldown.
Praedyth now stuck with Paradise. Looks like once they see where Tainted Minds are, the Fiora can continue to threaten. And this movement around the Baron being available, you would say, arguably actually favors Tainted Minds, dependent on what happens in that 1v1. This is a good opportunity to either threaten the Baron or force AV around the map, but they aren't doing it as efficiently as they would like. AV's response is actually just to hard push this middle lane.
Well, Paradise now might need to deal with this top wave, which is getting gigantic as it pushes towards that inner turret. You can see Praedyth now trying to dash around this minion wave, sort things out. Paradise is pushing things through, and Shelby going to get played back. The ultimate not going to hit anyone, dodges the hook, as there's the shield. Another ultimate going to whiff as the arrow flies past as well, but it doesn't matter. They're able to pick up the kill under the jungler anyway. Now Tainted Minds immediately start off this Baron.
Yeah, so they kick it off, and look at how quickly they actually do it. There's no response with Shelby dead. That's just a second Baron buff. And they should be able to get a lot with this, given that Shelby's still dead for 25 more seconds. Their engage tools are missing with the Ash Arrow being down. Perhaps not.
It feels like Omni doesn't care about stunning people with his ultimate. He uses it for damage.
I mean, it's good for damage.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Chaos Storm. Lost takes a lot of damage from it as there's the Curtain Call at the same time. Omni's still tanking up the Chaos Storm, takes himself the Dark Passage as Zahi flashes out of the way. Knew that he didn't have any repel targets, and that would have been his death.
Yeah.
Now Paradise here in the mid lane. You can see AV trying to chase this one through. Zahi in trouble. Scrying Orb comes down as Triple finds the Death Ray. The Q's going to be enough to do it, as he doesn't even use the cleanse.
And welcome to the exact problem that Tainted Minds are facing. They probably didn't have to be that aggressive, given there was no Ash Arrow that we mentioned earlier. But they don't take that into consideration, and they get picked out by a Vic Jhin.
Yeah, another time as well, as the arrow is going to find Jake. Transcendent Blades connecting onto him, but that is all they're willing to commit here at this stage. Big heal, shield, comes out. As Omni's ghosted forward. Nice ultimate out of Shelby, but it's not going to be enough as the Blade Surge interacts weirdly, but is still able to pick up the kill onto Shelby.
And that's one pick back in the other direction. Shelby, 0-6. Everyone else on his team performing pretty well, but unfortunately the jungler, the experienced member of AV, is consistently that sacrificial lamb for the team. Once again, the Baron buff stands for Tainted Minds, who should be able to start finding turrets. Every time they try, Triple just drops down the ultimate. Jhin just presses the W, and they catch out a carry.
Now, well, this time, Deadly Flourish avoided. The inner turret falls on the top side of the map. Still not breaking open the base or anything like that. Still got 2 inner turrets to go from this stage, but 8,000 gold's now the lead at 32 minutes.
Yeah.
Feels like that barely matters, to be perfectly frank.
This is actually a really good opportunity for Tainted Minds. They just got big item spikes.
Oh god,
like
the Infinity Edge and the
huge.
Rabadons, yeah.
And even the Blade of the Ruined King for Praedyth, so his damage is pretty big. And at times with the Fire Drake, which is up in 20 seconds. Their composition is pick-based, so if they have vision control of the area, which is why Shelby's dying a lot, they can do this.
Speaking of dying a lot, there's another arrow that comes down as well, as now Omni looking to try and stop Shelby. Nice hook lands from Rosie as the shields are trying to come through. It's not enough, however, as that is going to be 2 kills. In fact, Praedyth towards the bottom side of the map just kills Channy Boy as an afterthought.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. I didn't even see it.
I don't even know where he did it. Maybe he did it in the mid lane. There he is. There's his corpse. Aha. Now I know. I think it was Praedyth.
But that's 2 dead. They don't even actually need to look towards the Infernal Drake. That can be their afterthought for Tainted Minds. They're pressing on this middle lane turret.
Oh my god, look at that damage as minions run out, but it doesn't seem to matter. Inhibitor falls extraordinarily fast, and if Tainted Minds have anything, they've got damage while standing still. It is going to be Steric's Gauge done for Paradise, but he's just behind now. This global advantage that Tainted Minds have built up, the fact that this Aurelia this time is 5-1 and 3, such a big deal, and now Tainted Minds move towards this dragon.
But still, you have to question if it's something AV want to fight towards, as we just saw Channy Boy get evaporated.
He wandered
AV want to fight
casually
this
into
one,
it.
though.
As Paradise is going to get put right in the middle of this fight. He's going to die as the arrow is going to follow up another petrifying gaze. Chaos Storm avoided as there's the curtain call. See whether Channy Boy can actually lock anyone down. Gets the slows. As the last one just looks for Zahi optimistically.
Yeah, Praedyth even pushing on the opposite side of the map, has his teleport up. This may be too aggressive from him, but we'll see how he plays it out, given that Paradise is already dead. From strength to strength, Tainted Minds keep going. They get themselves really far ahead before it even hits a late game teamfight stage. They prevent all of the issues that plagued them in game 1 and 2 from happening again. And it feels like they should be strong enough now to close out this third.
And I think this a lot comes down to mental fortitude as well, Rusty, because, you know, this is late in the night. I mean, it's been a really long series as well. You'd be mentally drained, and it feels like Tainted Minds have really been able to keep themselves together this time around as sort of the newcomer here to the OPL.
I guess the big thing to me is we already said it's top versus bottom strength, but you look at how Game 3 has been performing. Praedyth is doing well.
Yeah.
Mid lane, Omni is stepping up. Our French player is out to play in game number 3 on the Cassiopeia. Even if the ultimates are being used for just damage. It works.
Dash Cannon comes in. It's all too easy now as these picks are coming in thick and fast. Blaze coming down, everything out here from Tainted Minds as they take down this inner turret towards the bottom side of the map. There's the last one. Shelby not going to be able to do too much as Deadly Flourish doesn't find Omni.
The Victor Jin combo still stands. So there's opportunities for AV, but it's not going to be easy.
Throws out the last bullet. Decent damage comes in here as well as Paradise launches forward. Hook's not going to land. Zahi needs to play carefully from this point on. Praedyth in the mid lane just being a menace, following super creeps in. Another W comes out from Channy Boy, but doesn't get it. Hook going to go wide as everyone dodging out of the way. Lunge, body slam, both there for AV.
You can see how it's deterring them, though. Right now, Praedyth is pressuring the middle lane to try and keep someone busy so they can maybe look towards this. But standing on wards and against the team that does a lot of damage, it feels like Tainted Minds are playing too forward and getting bursted out by the Victor, who's using wards well.
Well, Baron's up in about a minute now. Paradise looking for a flank, wanders over a ward, though. Praedyth now setting himself up. Omni gets the miasma in there as there's Repel. Will have to take the lantern, does so. Now AV, a little bit more aggressively positioned. They know that this Baron attempt is coming.
Yeah, for what it's worth, the fact that it took 3 Barons potentially to get themselves over the line.
The first Baron was at 21 minutes.
Still took 3 of them. They're 12,000 gold ahead. They can't actually break the second inhibitor with one already down.
That's a good point.
They're not using Praedyth in the top lane. He was mid because he wants to immediately rotate instead of teleporting. It feels like they do have a lot of strengths now, Tainted Minds. They should be able to win this game, but for what it's worth, taking 3 Barons is an awful long time.
Well, currently lost, pushing up there towards the top side. AV aggressively shoving out these super creeps, making sure that they're not put in a difficult position one more time. Super creeps were their downfall. Further down. 2-1 and 3 here for Triple in the mid lane. He's farming up quite nicely. Does have himself the Void Staff to complement his Rylai's Hex Corp completion.
Yeah, Triple's holding this team together at the moment. Paradise still has kill threat, and Chenny's complementing what Triple is doing. but it does feel like it's the victor against the world.
Yeah. Zahi now claiming vision control on this Baron. Praedyth moving away from Paradise right now. We'll see whether he's looking for a teleport to try and get himself cross map.
Actually get off.
Get started.
They do this so quickly.
Yeah, just so much damage. Look at that. Zahi's going to be able to get in there, and there's just no time to react. Explosive Cast comes in, and Shelby just a little bit late to the party. Arrow's going to find him there as well. Easy pickings come in as Zahi now looking to get even more done. Actually, Dash Cannon's his way out. As you can see, Praedyth now so difficult to deal with. Jenny Boy was an afterthought as Paradise able to get some work done. Takes down Zahi as the Grand Challenge comes down, but you can see there's just too much CC available from this Tainted Mind squad, and they're going from one target to the next. Praedyth, super movement speed there, and he's got the cooldown reduction. We'll have another Blade Surge, and double kill comes in for the Aurelia, and it's only triple alive.
Yeah, so Tainted Minds should be able to finish this one off with 4 people dead. Said it was triple against the world. Well, he's the last man standing against a Baron buffed enemy team. 38 minutes in, I think they've got it.
There's the flash play, and Lost has a lot of damage. It's Omni that picks up the kill as Nexus turrets now going to be the targets, and Tainted Minds in back-to-back games after a pretty disappointing first one, to be honest, with how it all turned out, are able to take down the series against Avant, honestly playing as the underdogs.
It wasn't neat and it wasn't easy, but Tainted Minds, the boot camping team, do get over the line and find the victory. An impressive win nonetheless. They were not the favorites.
Yeah, and it was most definitely tenacious play, but after our final game of the night, we're going to throw it for one more time back to the analyst desk.
G'day, everyone. G'day's a good name. I can say g'day.
G'day,
what? We've seen that final series wrap up 2-1 to Tainted Minds, which means
I was wrong.
Ejim, you got your predictions wrong. Yeah,
almost everything else I said was true except that one.
Raz,
the final
after
one
you
worked
switched, after you switched your prediction, you made it. You made it.
You gamed the system.
Yeah, the trick is always just the flip flop. Like the moment you start worrying a little bit, it's like, I'm getting. Okay, this. Yeah, Tainted Mind's gonna win.
I mean, we saw that game play out. It was kind of the same form as the first two, right? We saw the top lane v bottom lane kind of mismatches, and in this one though, Tainted Minds, they kind of got an advantage and they were able to push it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just came to a point of like tendencies, right? So, like, the tendencies pretty much came true through every game. Top side won for AV, like bot side won for Tainted Minds. Like it went through like Shelby every single time he had the opportunity. He just like solo invaded literally like just countless times. It was incredible, really. Like the only thing, like the major point of criticism I have is, well, it's not even criticism actually. It's more so that the Cassiopeia pick, and this is going to be really important because like we only saw like legitimately in this entire series 3 games of Cassiopeia hits 1 ulti, like legitimately the stun. But the ulti wasn't really, it was 5-0-6 that game, right? So like the value of the pick wasn't so much in the fact that he was playing the fights properly. It was legitimately like whenever Baron was up, he was like, okay, we could do this in 2 seconds. Maybe that's just something that they realized in boot camp is in that's how it works. It's like, okay, well, we can do Baron whenever we want. That's just because we can't actually, we legitimately cannot end the game without Baron.
It's kind of like a pseudo Azir, right?
Yeah.
Because like Azir is normally the guy who just like builds an Nasus and he just stabs the Baron down.
Yeah.
And Cassio is just sitting there like twin fanging.
Poison, twin fang. Yeah, legitimately, that's all
fine.
it is. Yeah. And so, yeah. That's a good positive. Is now it actually legitimately looks like that Tainted Minds has a good chance of getting semis.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at the results from today. We saw Legacy take on Abyss Esports 2-0, just Destructo Max, and then Avant-Garde went down to Tainted Minds 1-2. And then tomorrow we're going to be looking at more of the schedule. Dial's taking on Hellions and Sin versus your boys Chiefs.
Love Chiefs.
Yeah.
Love Chiefs too.
Your boys.
But when we look at that now, let's look at the standings then, because we can see how that's going to affect that. Legacy is still on top. Direwolves, Chiefs, Avant-Garde, Abyss, Tainted Minds, Sin Gaming, and Hellions. But you're just saying, even though Tainted Minds they're listed at 6th, they can make it into 4th by the end of the split. But they have to make their way maybe through a 3-way tie. It's very complicated,
yeah,
right?
at this point, it's like so complicated that it's not even worth discussing, right? Like legitimately, there are so many options in which teams can like find their way in ties, get in. So that's like really to stay into
but
to
if
the next week.
you guys win tomorrow,
if we beat Sin,
yeah,
which hopefully we do.
Sure.
Okay, because if we beat Sin and then who was it? It was
the important thing is,
like TMWIN. Then they're like
you can lock yourselves in. You can look into your.
See,
you
that's
can lock
how
yourselves
complicated
in.
it is.
You can lock yourselves into third place, and then
go.
it becomes a 3-way tie for fourth. It's very complicated, but you guys need to win tomorrow.
Yeah,
then.
well, that's the plan. I like winning. So we won last week, and then hoping we can keep the trend going.
Well, join us for this tomorrow because we're going to be looking at Chiefs taking on Sin tomorrow and Direwolves taking on Hellions. I'm excited for this. How you guys feeling? You good?
Good. I'm feeling confident.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow with more OPL. I'm Hingers. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining us.